To be a virgin, you got to repent, man, and come out of this world. You got to stop hating your brother. You got to stop eating crabs, man, and shrimp and pork and fat thereof.
Stop celebrating Christmas.
You got to stop celebrating Christmas, singing Christmas carols, putting that so-called star on top, right? Eating the candy canes thereof. Brother, you got to come out of that, man.
Being a faggot.
Right? Being a homosexual, okay? Putting on dresses, painting your nails. Jake painting their nails, man. Yeah. Hey, Jake is literally this is me. This is me.
Stop judging me.
I'm a rock star.
Right? I like to express myself.
I like
you're
Salakia, hey, Lil Yachty, what's his name? Lil Yachty got his own nail painting line.
Yeah, Lil Boat, man.
NBA Youngboy, man. NBA Youngboy, all these,
have a shipwreck.
Hard Jakes want to be like NBA Youngboy, but putting on makeup and stuff, man.
Yep. Yeah, then he putting on eyeliner and lipstick, and he said,
"This is me."
Yeah. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. For real, man. Stop playing, man. All the Jakes out there that's painting their nails and wearing mascara, man, come out of that, man.
There was a transsexual Jake that posted yesterday on Facebook. He wanted to sleep butt naked in the bed with gay family and take his picture.
All right. Hey, that's off, man. Hey, that's off. All right, keep reading on to that, man. It say to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. So that's what it means to be a virgin. Keeping yourself unspotted from the world. Okay, now finish out on Revelation 14:4.
Yeah, we ain't finished.
Yeah.
These are they which follow the Lamb whatsoever he goeth.
They didn't actually follow a lamb, right? This is talking about the Lord, man. Yeah, but see, Esau read this with misunderstanding. He think it's an actual lamb that they follow. Yeah. They walking with the lamb.
Lamb kind of stopped eat. They stopped kind of eat grass.
It's a little lamb. It's a baby lamb.
Hey, keep reading. Keep reading on to that, man.
These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruit of God to the Lamb.
Meaning being the elect. That's what it means to be the first fruits. Now give me Revelation 19:7 again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife have made herself ready.
Right? The Israelites have made themselves ready. Y'all want to skip to the point? Verse 11? Yeah. Con, go to verse 11.
Verse 11.
So again, Revelation 19, the war of the Lamb. Right? So the Lord is coming back to ride on the white horse. All right, bring it out, King.
And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war.
And that's not a literal horse, man. That's talking about a chariot. All right, give me the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, verse 15. The Lord is coming back in a chariot. A massive, big chariot, man. Right? It's graven like a mountain. Right? The chariot that the Lord is coming back on is going to be that of a mountain. All right?
2 Kings chapter 6, verse 15. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, and hosts compassed the city, both with horses and chariots.
Both with what?
Both with horses and chariots.
Right.
And his servant said unto him, At last, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Right, so what did Elijah say? Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Meaning we have more angels, we have more military might on our side. Hey, when you think about it, we have more military might than the so-called white man. Right, there's millions and a plethora of angels in the heavens. Right, when you read Revelation chapter 5, verse 11. Hundreds of millions of angels. Okay, read on.
Verse 16, or verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see.
Meaning open up his understanding. Right? Take that veil off his eyes that he may see the spiritual things. Read on.
And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots.
It was full of what?
Full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
It said it was full of horses and chariots of fire. It's not actual horses. These are talking about chariots, right? Because a horse can't damn catch on fire, man. It's still kind of prancing, right, running around doing this thing. So this is talking about so-called UFOs, man. So the Lord is coming back in UFOs, right, with the saints of the Lord, right?
Precept. Get Isaiah 19:1. Right? Coming in that white horse, man. That father shit. Right? Like we read in Psalms 18 earlier. And he did fly, man. Right? Shooting lasers out of his arm.
Zapping the wicked.
Right? Melting them. Right? Read.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt.
Right?
Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
The Lord say?
The Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
Hey, so the Lord is going to ride upon a swift cloud. He's coming on the father shit. Right? Read.
And shall come into Egypt.
Coming to America. Right? Read.
And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Right?
And the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Right? You see that? Egypt's heart is going to melt, man. They go faint when Yahweh Shah come, man. And that big old so-called UFO. Right? Which is an IFO identifier. It's the Chariots. All right, so that's
it's not what Esau called unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Right.
Right. Unidentified flying object. Right. Things that they can't really explain. Aliens. No, this is talking about the chariots of the Lord, man. Right. Give me the book of Jeremiah. I believe it's chapter 4, verse 13, if I'm not mistaken. Most I will.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 13. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind.
And his what?
And his chariots shall be as a whirlwind.
Hey, the chariots of the Lord are going to be like a whirlwind, right? Hey, Elias was taken up in the chariot, right? We read Sirach, I believe it's the 42nd chapter, all right? Keep reading.
His horses are swifter than eagles.
Hey, man, his horses are swifter than eagles. And, man, these chariots are swift, man. Hey, man, these chariots, you can't really explain the chariots, man. You can't explain the movements of these chariots. Or they can be going, 200, 300 miles per hour, and they stop in midair. They kind of change direction.
Right.
Right?
Teleport.
Kind of running laps around.
They can teleport, right? They can materialize, right? They can do all these different things because what? They come from the heavens, right? Read on.
Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. O Jerusalem, wash thy heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. Salakia.
How long shall
thy vain thoughts lodge within thee?
So the point was verse 13 about the chariots being as whirlwind, right? Now give me First Maccabees, I believe it's the 2nd chapter in the 58th verse, going into how Elias was taken up in the chariot.
You said first.
First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 58.
The book of First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 58. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven.
And we just read that in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter. He was being zealous and he was fervent for the law, and he was taken up into the heavens, along with Enoch, right? Enoch was translated and he walked with the Lord, right? Because they kept the commandments of the Most High and they was faithful throughout their generations, right? So the Lord is coming back in a chariot, a cloud. You can read on to that.
Verse 59.
It's so like in this say, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So the Lord is coming back to make war and judge in righteousness, right? It's not out of wickedness. It's not out of murder. It's out of righteous indignation. Give me that in Zechariah chapter 12. I believe it's the 3rd verse.
Zechariah chapter 12 verse 3. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people.
We're going to be like a burdensome stone for all people, a sharp stone. Read on.
All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces.
So in other words, if you rise up against Israel and oppress God's chosen people, you're going to be cut in pieces. Read on.
Though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it.
Right, and all the people of the earth, they're going to be gathered together against the Israelites, and they're going to be cut in pieces, thus saith the Lord. All right, now give me Zechariah chapter 14, verse 2.
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the horses rifled, and
Houses
the women
rifled.
so like in the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
Read on.
Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations.
And do what?
And fight against those nations.
So the Lord is going to fight against the nations of the earth, right, during the battle of Armageddon. Read on.
As when he fought in the day of battle.
As when he fought in the day of battle in Egypt, man. Right, so the Lord is going to go forth and fight against Moab. He's going to fight against Ammon. Right, he's going to fight against Gog and Magog. Right, he's going to fight against Esau, so on and so forth. Right, and he's going to destroy them utterly during the battle of Armageddon, which we're reading about in Revelation the 19th chapter. You can keep reading, brother.
Revelation 19.
Verse 12. Gone.
The book of Revelation chapter 19 and verse 12. And it reads, his eyes were as a flame of fire.
This is talking about the Lord. His eyes were as a flame of fire because Christ drank wine in Genesis chapter 49, verse 12, but also because he's coming back for vengeance, right? That's why his eyes were as a flame of fire. Reading on.
And on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but himself.
So, like, now when it says on his heads were many crowns, because he's coming back to take down and destroy many nations of the earth, right? Give me that in Daniel chapter 2, verse 38. Right? He's coming back to slay many nations, man. Right? Again, the Lord is not coming back with peace treaties to hand them out to the UN, right? To sit down with them at meat, right? And have a conversation, kind of shake their hand, like Joe Biden be doing, kind of shaking the presidents of these different nations' hand. The Lord is not doing that, man. The Lord is coming back to destroy. Bring it out, King.
The book is Daniel chapter 2, verse 31. Thou, O king.
Verse 38.
Verse 38, Slakia. And whatsoever the children of man dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thy hand, and hath made thee ruler over all them, and thou art the head of gold.
Right? This is talking about the Babylonian Empire. Right? Read on.
Verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior unto thee.
Right, which is the Medo-Persian Empire. Right? Persian and the Medes. Read on.
And another kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth.
Which are the Greeks. Read on.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Right, which is talking about the Roman Empire, right, because they had military might, which represents the iron. Okay, because iron is stronger than brass. Iron is stronger than silver, and it's damn sure stronger than gold. Okay, so the Roman Empire had great military might. And you can read about that in 1 Maccabees, the 8th chapter. They were mighty, valiant men. And keep reading on to that, King.
Verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Right, and this is going into now. This is going into America and the EU, right? Because the EU are the 10 toes, right? And America is an extension of Rome. Keep reading.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Read on.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave one to another.
They say they shall not cleave one to another. Why? Because the EU is going to destroy America by way of World War III. And that's spoken about in Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. Okay, but keep reading on to that, King.
Even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the day of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom.
That's talking about right now. In the day of these kings, the Lord is raising up a kingdom of kings and priests. So right now, in these times, the Lord is raising up the kingdom. Reading on.
Which shall never be destroyed.
And we're not going to never be destroyed. That's in the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 33. Daniel, chapter 2, verse 44, which we're reading about. And Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. Keep reading.
and the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
The other nations, right? Right. The Lord said, measure them not in the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 2. Keep reading.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
It shall do what?
It shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
So that's why the Lord had many crowns, because he's going to break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. Reading on.
And it shall stand forever.
And it's going to stand forever, thus saith the Lord. All right.
Revelation.
That's Revelation 19,